Hello, friends. My name is Aslam Sheikh, your host for the evening. I'm the founder and CEO of Aleph, a platform to promote the global perspective of education and career. This is our 29th webinar series, and which is a weekly series and broadcasted live on Facebook and YouTube channel. Every Friday, we aim to bring in the valuable speakers to discuss the topic that is important to you and for your career. Those who have not liked our page or subscribed to our channel can do so. I will share the link so that it will be easy for you to get the notification for our weekly programs and the content. You can also go and watch the recorded videos. Those who are joining us first time, let me quickly introduce you who we are and what we do. And let me share the screen so that you can see what I speak. Here we go. So a company is Aleph. The Aleph is the first letter in Arabic and Urdu language, which signifies the beginning or beginning of education specifically. And hence, we kept this name for the organization. That's our core team within our organization. We formed in 2008. We have counseled till now 23,000 students across India. We maintain 100% admission ratio and 95% visa success ratio. We represent 14 plus countries and 200 plus institutes across these countries. We are affiliated with ICF and WEBA, which are the international body for international education. We've been also certified by the British Council and the other bodies in front of you. In this COVID situation, we had a good news. We've been recognized as the top 10 most recommended overseas education consultants by the media magazine Inside Success. We also maintain the 100% guaranteed admission to the universities we represent by following strictly the application process prescribed by the universities. These are some of the universities on your screen, which you can have a look at it, where our students are studying for various programs. We also emphasize more onto scholarships, and we help the students to get the discounts or the scholarship or the grants on various formats which are available and offered by the university. Till now, as on 2019, we have distributed scholarship worth rupees 23 crore to our students under various heads. These are some of our students who gained the scholarship. Of course, for more information, you can go onto our website or our YouTube channel. What we offer is the services which are very clear. The first is career counseling for the kids who are not sure what they want to do after their 10th, 12th or graduation, and they can take the help of our services. The second service we offer is IELTS coaching, which is important and almost compulsory for all the universities from the admission or for the visa point of view. We've also been certified as a Silver Partner Award winner by the British Council. In terms of study abroad services, we offer right from study profiling to application to visa to finding the accommodation before even you take your first flight. These are the countries which we represent across different continents of Europe, North America, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. We also offer the students the Edge Out service that helps them to prepare them well as an international students in the field of cross-culture training, health orientation, basic etiquettes, and the Alumni Connect. The quality assurance is the most important thing. We maintain 95% student satisfaction ratio. We visit our students abroad, which I'll show you the pictures. We've been highly followed. Like in Facebook, we have got over 96,000 followers, and YouTube, we have got 61,000 subscribers, so as to the other media channels. We organize a lot of promotional events. We participate in a lot of international and national events. These are some of the pics of our students, our counselors traveling and meeting our students on campus. Some success stories from our students. Shweta from Mumbai joined a master's course in US, and now she is well settled in New Jersey and progressing in her professional career. So as Akshay, who completed his MBA from Ireland and now working with Dell Technologies. And about me, well, I've counseled personally over 1,000 plus students, traveled over 14 countries, been certified by ISEF, WEBA, British Council, and also the ex-president of BNI Plus. It's one of the world's largest networking channel. And I also was awarded among the top 10 best consulting leaders of the year. So let's go back to our program. Today's program is how UK, US, and Hungary are welcoming students in 2021. And I'm sure that 2020 was a challenging period and many students have held back their proposed plans or plans to go abroad and explore the world. But wait for a time whereby the 2021 is getting open and the intakes are well open for the students to go and appear for the different programs. So to discuss this interesting and exciting subjects, we have with us an expert panel of speakers. So let me do the honor of introducing them. Let me have a first speaker, Sally Fairburn. Hello, Sally.
Hello.
Okay, so Sally is the international recruitment officer. She from University of South Wales, UK. Sally has started her journey in 2006 within the University of Wales, South Wales, as an inquiry and admission assistant, and shortly afterwards completed her BA in business management with first class honors from University of South Wales, UK. In 2012, she was appointed as an international officer to manage recruitment in the Middle East, and since then had the privilege of working in Southeast Asia, Norway, Cyprus, Greece, Portugal, and most recently managing recruitment in Nepal, India, and Sri Lanka. Welcome, Sally.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll come back to you, Sally, again. Okay, our next speaker is Nicholas Ven. Hi, Nicholas.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, good to have you. So let me quickly introduce Nicholas. Nicholas is the Associate Director of International Admission at Springfield College, USA. Mr. Ben has worked in higher education admissions for over a decade, working with international students to help them achieve their dreams of studying in the United States, and has helped thousands of students by creating a pathway to successful career around the world. Welcome, Nicholas, and I'll join you back soon.
Thanks for having me.
And our next speaker is Miss Anita Toth.
Hello,
Anita.
Hi everyone. Hello, thank you.
Thank you very much. Anita is the International Admission Officer of Budapest Metropolitan University, Hungary. Ms. Anita has been an International Admission Officer for over 3 years. She deals with students from India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Latin America. She has conducted over hundreds of Skype interviews with Indian students, especially so far, and her main strength is her patience in assisting students. And I'm sure that you require a lot of patience dealing with Indian students, dealing with the whole application procedure, including visa procedure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I'll come back to you. So for the viewers, if you have any questions as we progress, you can quickly type onto the comment box. We will quickly go through all the questions which we have already received from various sources, from students and parents. They want to know more about this. And if you have anything which you would like to know, our counselors would be available after the session. So let me begin the sessions officially, and let me have Sally in the room. Sally has already been with us in the previous program, which you have witnessed. And today we are going to talk about certain different topics, which are very important if you're making your serious move towards 2021 admission. So, Sally, we would like to know from you, and many students have asked this question, the parents wants to know that if you have not decided anything in 2020, what is your advice as a student advisor from the university point of view? What should the student do in 2021?
Okay, so it's a bit of a dilemma for a lot of international students. They were planning to come in 2020, and then due to obviously the pandemic, then maybe they decided to postpone their studies. So my advice is the situation is ongoing. We don't know when it's going to stop. So I would say, as long as you feel safe in your decision to travel to the UK or any other international country that you're thinking of studying, I would say go ahead with your plans. Don't delay it anymore. There are changes, obviously, in the way that we're teaching our students. We are offering a blended learning approach. So students can still come to the UK, they can take their online classes from their accommodation, and they will have the opportunity to have some face-to-face interactions in small groups and with their lecturers as well. You can delay it again if you want to, but the reality is this situation could be going on for a long time, and we don't know when it's going to stop. So my advice is, if you feel safe in the fact that you will travel to another country to pursue your overseas education, then don't delay, just carry on.
Okay, great. So friends, that's the first advice coming from UK. And if you're feeling safe, and if you think that it's a good time for you to travel, UK is there to welcome you, and the university has already started the application process are going on. Thank you, Sally. I'll come back to you. Okay, let's have Nicholas Venn in the room. Nicholas, a lot of things are going on in US, and everybody, from India, we are all excited to see the results. We don't know what is going to be. I'm not sure what to expect. But in the given situation of COVID and the election and the Trump proposed rules and immigration laws, what's your advice? How the students should look at US now from here on?
Well, thank you, Osman. It's a great question. The U.S. has always been one of the largest destinations for international students, and I really don't think that's going to change. Even over the last 4 years, we've still had hundreds of thousands of international students reach success. If Trump does continue for another 4 years, it's not going to change. If Biden is in, you might find more preferable visa rules, but it's still going to be a great location no matter what. Now, of course, there's the issue of COVID. However, the U.S., just like India, is comprised of many different states that are handling it differently. And my advice to you is, if you're going to study in the United States, just be aware of where you want to travel to. For example, Springfield's located in a very, very low COVID density region. Right. So we have very low instances. We follow very closely. Other states are not doing as well, but there's, limited interaction. So my advice is, if you are interested in studying in the U.S., be aware of where you want to go. Have conversations with your counselors, your academic advisors. Attend many fairs. Attend the Aleph Education Fair on November 10th and speak to the counselors there and find out what they're doing to make things better for you, because it is ultimately about you and your education. So you need to be a self-advocate. That being said, we're always more than happy to help you. It's our job. So educate yourself. But the good news is that we are still accepting visas currently for Indian students who we still really want you. And so I would say, educate yourself, look to the future, and please reach out to us if you do have any questions.
Thank you, Nicholas. I think that's a very progressive advice, because friends, as Sally also said, that this situation is not going to go that fast, and you got to be serious about your career as well as you're serious about your health. So we have got already students joining in the September intake amid COVID situation to the various countries, and then we have been sharing those informations. So at a time, I guess, you got to start learning to live with the situation and still see that how the future looks like for you. You can't just sit idle. We all are working, we all are doing our job, and I'm sure that as a student you would want to continue your journey for education. Thank you, Nicholas, for the piece of advice. I'll come back to you. Let's have Anita, first time in our program. Thank you, Anita, for joining us. And we are very excited to have Budapest Metropolitan University. Before I ask this question, let me say to the audience who are listening to us first time, we have our students who have been recruited a few years ago for bachelor's, and now he was a brand ambassador of the university for India, and now he's full-time with the university. And I was very happy when Maz, the student name, he joined us in the previous programs, I think around 2 months ago, when we had the similar session with all the students from across the world who represent the Aleph alumni. And Maz shared a very good experience of him being there in Hungary. Okay, so now the situation is changed, of course, and then the student would like to know how Hungary is looking like, and if they want to make a study option. We know that Hungary is one of the most affordable destination in Europe. So you enjoy the beauty and the advantages of Europe, but at the lesser cost. So what's your advice? The students are enthusiastic to come, and what's your advice from Hungary point of view?
Thank you so much for having me. First of all, definitely, due to the current pandemic situation, it's a very difficult decision that students have to make regarding their future studies. But we think that in case their circumstances allow it, they should go ahead with their plan confidently and use even this uncertain period to invest in their international education, to improve their career outlook and gain an unforgettable experience that will enrich them personally and professionally as well. It's definitely possible to enter Hungary as a student, we would help them with all the documentation that is necessary for their entrance as well. Definitely we follow all safety measures. Online education is actually available. So I would just definitely recommend them to not postpone their studies, because this time is actually a great opportunity to develop themselves. And as you have mentioned, we do have a student Mas who actually has completed our communication bachelor program previously, and now for more than a year he's strengthening our marketing department. So in case students are interested, they would be also able to get in contact with him the next Tuesday at the online fair. So I would definitely recommend them to participate at the fair.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Anita. Yeah, friends, what Anita is saying is you can participate in the fair, as Nicholas also mentioned, that these universities are going to be there because of the time limit, where here we can't take all the questions. So we have already prepared ourselves with this question, but in the fair, you will get more opportunity to interact personally with the universities and discuss your case from your context, and then you can have more customized solutions for your issue. And then Maz is going to be there as a student alumni, so you can relate more with him. He's also from Mumbai and completed his bachelor's. So thank you, Anita. Thank you for the speed of your question. Okay, so let's have Sally back. Sally, if the students wanted to come to UK, so when is the next intake available for them?
So for our university, the University of South Wales, we have a January and February intake. Applications are still open until the middle of December, so we very much welcome applications from our Indian students. The popular courses that we're seeing for the February and January intake tend to be our 2-year MBA global program with a guaranteed 10-month work placement. We also have MSc management and project construction management, as well as a number of engineering postgrad courses, and then some undergraduate business programs as well, starting in the new year. Indian applicants will be eligible if they're self-funded for a scholarship of £2,500, so that's automatically awarded to their offer letter. But yeah, the next intake is January, February, and then also September 2021 as well.
Oh, that's nice. So USW is offering $2,500 scholarship to the students who are self-funding themselves. And we have heard about some popular programs, especially, friends, I want to draw your attention towards the Global MBA, which has got 10 months of guaranteed placements attached to it. And it sounds very attractive for the students who wants to see the study and experience combined together within the program. Thank you, Sally.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's get to know from Nicholas. When is the intake, Nicholas, at your campus, and can they apply? Can the student apply now?
Certainly. So our next intake is in mid to late January, around January 20th, for our spring semester. Students are absolutely welcome to apply now. Springfield College has rolling admissions, which means students can really apply at any time, and we welcome applications. Currently, we are giving priority to Indian students just because of the fact that the visas or the embassies are accepting visa interviews. So scholarship opportunities are there and applications are open.
Okay, great. So would you like to talk about your scholarship so the student would get to know a little bit about it?
Of course.
Especially about your housing grant, which is very attractive, I guess.
Yes. So we offer quite a few scholarships, too many, in fact, to go over here. I would say the main scholarships that we offer would be our academic merit, which goes anywhere from $12,000 to $24,000 and is based largely on your GPAs. However, in addition to that, we also offer a housing scholarship, as you mentioned, which for undergraduates is $7,250 a year and covers all of your dormitory fees. For our graduate students, we have our housing and meal scholarship, which covers $10,300 per year, and that includes all housing and meals. So we have pretty excellent scholarships. We also have a travel reimbursement. So you pay for your flights to come to the U.S. and fly home, and we will either put that money back towards your tuition, or we will give you a check so that when you arrive here, you have a little bit of extra spending money.
Wow. By listening to it, I just presume that I would have been a student. I would have grabbed this opportunity straight away.
Yeah, we try our best to work with international students. We know that there's a lot working against them right now, and so we definitely want to make it competitive and fair for them and make it worth their while. After all, it is an investment for you to come. You're investing in your education, and the idea is to come and get a good job and be able to get a return on that investment after you graduate. And so we're trying to make that ROI, that return on investment, as good as possible.
Right. So, friends, we have been promoting this through emailers, through our social media campaigning, which we've been doing for the fair. All this exciting information, exciting scholarship, which you must have never heard of, you would get to know once you join our fair and would like to meet our Springfield College. This is our very spotlighted colleges. I've been there in the campus. I saw the campus. It's beautiful campus they have. I think they were celebrating some environmental day on that day when I arrived. So I got a chance to meet some of the students from that particular background. I shot the interviews, and they have got amazing facilities on sports, which we'll talk about in the next question. But if you're really looking forward to joining a college which has got fabulous facilities and a scholarship combined together, this is the place to look for. Thank you, Nicholas, for this information. Okay, let's see what Hungary has got to offer if the students is looking to come to study there. What's the option, Anita?
We do have two intakes. We have spring and autumn semester. So at the moment, Indian students are still able to apply for our February intake, which would start on the 22nd of February. Until the end of this month, they are able to submit their application. Later on, we wouldn't recommend it that much because the visa procedure also takes time, but definitely for basically 1 more month, they would be able to apply for our February intake. What is important to know that we offer different business, communication, tourism, and art-related programs. The art-related programs are only available from each September. So in case they are interested in applying any of these mentioned programs, they would be able to submit their application from December for the September intake already.
Okay, that's nice. That's great to hear. And so largely, if you see all the institutes which we have here from US, UK, and Hungary, they all are open for another 1 month, and you have got just in time if you want to make it for January or February intake. And I think it's a good time for you also to come next week and to attend the fair and meet with these universities who will be available. And then if you're ready with your documents and finances, we'll be more than happy to help you to reach on time in January, February intake 2021. Otherwise, the next intake would be towards the end of the year in September or October. Thank you, Anita. Let me have in the room at the same time, Sally. And Sally, you already answered, but if you can put a little more lights onto your flagship programs, which you have. I remember that 6 months ago when we did this program, and we just began doing this webinar series, I think 6 to 7 months ago during the COVID. That time we had the film division also, filmmaking programs from South Wales. So would you like to talk a little bit about those and other programs?
Yeah, sure. So we have a really amazing Faculty of Creative Industries at the university, and that campus is based right in the heart of Cardiff City, so the capital of Wales. So in that faculty, we offer subjects such as film, dance, media, graphic communications, music, fashion design. So all the kind of hip and cool trendy courses, and the trendy people will go there. But we've had particular interest with your agency for Bollywood as well. So we've had some discussions on that. But this faculty is really interesting in the fact that when the students come to enroll onto their course within this faculty, they actually all integrate together and they work together as a team. They're not just in their own little pods of film or media or dance or music, because at the start of every year they put on a fashion show, and everybody from every discipline comes together to make this fashion show happen. So you've got obviously obviously fashion students designing the clothes, the music students are putting all the compilations together. You've got the dance students maybe putting on a pre-show or the film, videoing it. So everybody has to work together like they would in industry, which is great because it prepares them for the future. So another flagship program I would like to talk about is chiropractic studies. So we've had a couple of Indian students, but it is a very niche course that we offer, where the nearest thing I can kind of explain it to being like is like physiotherapy, but it's very hands-on. And at the end of the 4-year program, students will exit with a Masters of Chiropractic, and they will be a Doctor of Chiropractic. So we're one of only a handful of institutions in the UK that offers this program. And I would say for anybody out there that does have a background in physiotherapy, is looking to retrain into this specific career, then it's definitely worth investigating further on our website. But also anybody that has a strong interest in anatomy and helping people recover from back injuries or any accidents, then it's a really great profession to look into.
Yes, it does look very interesting. Thank you, Sally, for giving us information about the flagship program. Just to add to it, what we got to also learn from your university last time is that, friends, one of the alumni of University of South Wales went on to win his Oscar for one of the documentary movie which he made, and that's something which tells you that what could be the quality of education and the quality of faculties the university has on its campus. So thank you, Sally. Thank you very much. Let's have Nicholas in the room. And Nicholas, we would like to know from you, what are your flagship or popular programs which you think Indian students would be interested in?
Sure. So we could break that up, I guess, into 2 categories. We have the undergraduate and the graduate. To start things off, I will tell a brief story, which you've heard before, but we were founded in 1885, so we're a very old institution by United States standards. Back in 1891, one of our graduate students, as part of his master's thesis, had to invent a new sport. The new sport that was invented at Springfield College was basketball. So Dr. James Naismith invented basketball at Springfield College. The person who invented volleyball is also an alumni of Springfield College, and John Cena is also an alumni of Springfield College. So if you're going to ask what our flagship programs are, we offer many, many programs, and they're all excellent. We have excellent business programs, computer science programs. However, most of our sports-related programs, I would say, are what we're famous for. And I want to be clear about this, not necessarily saying playing sports, but everything about sports. So that could be sports biology, that could be kinesiology, physical therapy, sports management. Everything along those lines are some of the best in the world. But we do also offer excellent programs in health sciences, regular biology, pre-medical programs. Really, if it has to do with the body and it has to do with physicality or movement, that's our top.
Absolutely. So friends, if you're really interested to make a career in any of the fields which just Nicholas explained to you, and especially if you are sports enthusiastic like I do, so please look into these institutes. They have got one of the best facilities which I've experienced by myself. They've got 2 football ground for the students to practice and to play, and as well, and they've got one of the biggest, I think it is one of the largest track for jogging, so if I'm not mistaken. So
2 of them. We have an indoor one and an outdoor one.
Oh, very nice. So friends, if you're really looking forward to have these options available for you, you must look into this college. Let me move to Anita. Anita, would you like to highlight some of your flagship programs which you think Indian students are mostly interested in?
Yeah, definitely. So I would say that the most important programs are definitely the business-related programs. So we have different bachelor and master level programs, such as BBA, MBA, management and leadership. We offer also communication and tourism. But I would like to definitely highlight our art-related programs, as our university has basically the largest art institution in Hungary, and Budapest is definitely an extremely popular place of filmmaking. So,
Yes.
for example, I definitely would like to highlight our cameraman specialization bachelor program, but also obviously beside the most common ones such as graphic design, media design, we also offer, for example, fashion and textile design or environmental design programs. And also I would like to mention that we have a partnership with Northumbria University of UK. So those students who are interested in studying the UK, but for financial reasons or traveling restrictions, they are not able to go, they would be able to start their studies at our university, complete their first 2 years, and finish their last year basically in the London campus of Northumbria, and they would get actually 25% discount from the tuition fee over there, which would be definitely a much lower tuition fee. Also living in Hungary during the first to third part of the program would be way more affordable. So definitely I would mention also this opportunity.
I think that's something which is very interesting for many students who are looking for affordable yet quality education. And this is where it comes into picture. You can have these pathway programs, what just Anita mentioned to you, and then you can subsidize your fees in the way of studying 2 years in Hungary and then moving to the final year into UK. So that's great. That's great to know. Let's move on to some tough questions which we all are thinking of. I know this looks good to make a plan for 2021, but what happens in the current situation? So let me ask the speakers that how's the situation in the country? Sally, how's COVID situation looks like? I believe that everybody's following everyone in today's media day, but still, since you've been there, so we would like to know from you. And then especially if the student wants to take that call, what precautionary measures universities taking to safeguard the students' health?
Sure. So at the moment, Wales is in a lockdown. We're in lockdown until the 9th of November, so Monday. It can be a little bit confusing for students sometimes because although obviously we're one country, the UK, we have different parliaments or different governments giving different rules for different countries within the UK. So England is different to Wales. So we went into lockdown 2 weeks ago in Wales. England only went into lockdown yesterday for 1 month. But that said, students arriving into the UK are still able to travel through England if they arrive into London and can make their way to Wales. That's not a problem, and we've got provisions in place to help them with that. The situation at the moment is that there are a lot of cases. We have a high number of cases, but saying that, the number of fatalities as a result of that is comparatively low considering what it was back in the spring. As a university, we've got lots of provisions in place to help keep our staff and students safe, which is our main priority. So the students are able to come and join us at the campus. We have self-isolating accommodation that we can provide for students, and we can bring them their meals 3 times a day whilst they're self-isolating. Myself, I've been working from home since the middle of March, although I am looking to go back onto campus shortly. I can't work at home any longer. But so we do have staff back on campus, so it's not like the students are just on their own. They still have that option to interact in face-to-face lectures, although it is not obviously full-time like it would be prior to COVID. So the students, they are at the forefront of our mind when it comes to safety. We have one-way systems within the university, hand sanitizing stations everywhere. They would be required to wear face coverings whilst they were inside if they were in a group of people. But I think, like I said in my first question, it is the norm now, and it's just something that we are having to learn to evolve with and learn to have it in our daily life, I guess. It's not the easiest at times, but the university has so many supportive staff. As you mentioned, I graduated from the university myself. It is very much an open door policy. If students are having any issues, no matter if it's personal, academic, whatever the issue, they can go and find me or their personal tutor, and it is very much an open door policy. So we're there to support them.
Okay, that's great. I think very, very critical point which you explain in your conversation is that even though it's lockdown, it doesn't mean the student can't travel. They can travel and they can join the university, and then university is taken enough precautions to safeguard the interest and the health of the students. Thank you, Sally. Nicholas, how's the situation in the US, and how's your colleges prepared to welcome the students?
Yeah, the situation in the U.S. is, well, frankly, so things got bad in the very beginning. We quarantined, we all locked down very tightly, and then things got better. And I have been going back into the office for 2 or 3 days a week because, much like Sally said, I was going stir crazy sitting in my, in my house all day. And recently we've seen a little bit more of an uptick in cases over the past few weeks. So we had students come back to class. However, much like Sally said in the UK, there's different areas, different state governments, different governments in the US. So the federal government in the US gives guidelines, but it's up to state governments, local governments, to come up with the policies. So Massachusetts has done a very, very good job. Massachusetts, where Boston is, where Springfield is, has done a very good job in limiting COVID cases. We have sort of gone in the middle of going too far and not letting people do anything, and also opening enough for people to still go to restaurants, but also being very careful about social distancing and wearing masks. Masks are mandatory outside. Hand sanitation is everywhere. To be honest with you, as a kind of a germaphobe before the COVID situation happened, I'm sort of excited to see the amount of seriousness that people are giving hygiene now. Everybody's washing their hands. Everybody's making sure that they're not coughing on anybody else. But yeah, so things are not good and they are not bad, right? But we are, as an institution, making sure that, again, like Sally said, we have a one-way system. If you go in one door, you go out another door. Masks, social distancing. We also have emergency response teams, contact tracing. We do weekly COVID tests for our student population. So if one person finds out we have COVID or they have COVID, test anybody that they've been hanging out with. We have a team of people that will go and contact you. Earlier on this year, we had a scare where one of the students that we had brought in tested positive for COVID, an international student. Turned out they had already had COVID, so it was a false positive. They were already fine. However, that morning they got tested at 7 a.m. By 7:30, I was already contacted in the health center taking a COVID test. So we have a very, very aggressive response to finding out and making sure that our student body is safe.
Right. I think that's very important, friends. You can't predict, or you can't, I would say, with your precautions also can't predict that what will happen to you or to somebody else. But if you have got a good response team available on campus to support you during that time, that makes all difference. I think that's where the Nicholas is drawing his points. Let's come to Anita. Anita, how the situation looks in Hungary, and then what's your university is taking care of your students?
Yeah, unfortunately, during the second wave, the number of infected people is increasing also in Hungary day by day. But in order to slow down the spread of the virus, recently the government proposed stricter and more consistent rules, for example, also in mass events. entering Hungary is possible, as I mentioned at the very beginning, as a student, but they would need to stay in self-quarantine for 10 days at the moment. It has been reduced from 14 days to 10 days. We try to provide them different services during their stay. They are able to definitely stay in our dorms, even during their quarantine, even if they choose to stay in a shared room, for example. We definitely make it possible to stay in a separate room. So we try to assist them during the quarantine time as much as possible. Also with the necessary documentation, we give them help. So, and also, obviously, we follow the necessary safety measures throughout the whole university, such as wearing mask, distancing as well. We have placed several disinfection stations also in the university, and most of our courses actually available and can be completed online. For those students who are already in Budapest and Hungary, they are able to have some classes, mainly the practical ones that are related to our art courses. They are able to attend those classes in person, but we pay attention that the groups are divided in smaller number of people, so the distancing is possible throughout the classes as well, and they are able to have personal interaction with the tutors if they would like to. But definitely we try to assist them during the whole procedure.
So how many days the personal teaching is taking place in a week's time?
I would say that it depends definitely on the courses. Some of the business classes, and basically there are few options at each programs that they are able to attend classes also in person if they want to. If they prefer to complete it online, definitely they are able to follow the online classes. All of the study materials are available also online. But depending on the courses, let's say twice per week they are able to attend the campus.
Fair enough. That's precisely my next question for Sally also. Sally, how's the breakup of online and offline classes on an average across the programs?
Yeah, so we call it blended learning. There's two scenarios basically. The students that haven't been able to or don't feel safe to come to Wales at the moment are still home in their home country taking their online classes. So that would be 100% online. So we said in September the first term would be blended learning online. And recently that's now been extended for the second term starting in January also. So for the students that have come to the UK, come to Wales, they've got that blended learning approach. So it will be the majority online, maybe with 1 to 3 hours of a week of contact time. For courses such as, like Anita said, with the creative industries where they have lab work or hands-on chiropractic studies, then what the faculties are doing are putting plans in place for the students that haven't been able to come to the UK to actually try and move that practical side of their teaching course to the end of the year, where they will have all the practical at the end, so they're not missing out on anything. But what we would advise students to do, like I said, it is all about their safety. If they feel safe to do so and they're well to do so, come to us, come and study with us in the UK, because it does give them that better student experience. It's not the whole student experience that you would expect, obviously, prior to COVID, but they will definitely benefit from that limited, although it is limited, face-to-face interaction with staff and their tutors and lecturers.
Okay, that's nice. That's good to know. Yeah, I mean, I was counseling one student just a few days ago, and he's a graduate student, has got around 5-6 years of experience. And apparently he lost his job during this COVID situation here in Mumbai. And he was asking the same question, that what should I do? I mean, I don't have a job, and I know that I wanted to go for an MBA for a long time. So I'm in a catch-22 situation. Should I wait for a next job to come in, or my company to restart looking at re-recruitment, or should I invest into education? And my answer was same, that if you feel safe enough and if you feel confident, then by all means, definitely, rather than wasting your time, it makes sense to invest into your own self, what you also said earlier. And if you're confident, by all means, get that education, because this is also a golden period. We all must have learned a lot during this COVID time, in our different life zone, whether personally or professionally. And this time is not going to come back if you
No,
see this
and
as an opportunity.
right.
Right?
People are investing in online courses, not necessarily through a university or college,
Yeah.
but free online courses to build up their knowledge. Because, like you said, they won't get this time back, and it's used
Absolutely.
wisely.
Yeah, it's a good time to educate yourself, and as you rightly said, in whatever way it goes. But rather than sitting idle hoping for the good to happen, let's learn something to keep up ourselves. Okay, so Nicholas, what's the format of education in US? When we say UK, it's saying the blended learning. I'm sure that American have got some other alternate word to it, maybe hybrid learning or something like that. I don't know.
That's it. That's it. We've got our hybrid learning format. Yeah, which is essentially the same thing. Students are on campus right now. As I mentioned, we're doing the contact tracing and social distancing. But students are taking their classes online. We have an excellent online portal called Brightspace. So students will do their online courses. And they'll do most of their homework, but then they'll go into classrooms, again, totally sanitized, social distance, masks, where they will learn face-to-face, do lectures, and things of that nature. And of course, this was one of the difficult things for us to adapt to. I think Sally mentioned this as all, but how do you do things like biology labs or physical therapy labs from a distance? It's really difficult to do that. So students, especially in a lot of our medical related fields, are incredibly important because we need those fields right now. We have health promotion and disease prevention as one of our majors. So that's something where students need to go in. They need to be on the front line, and they need to be focusing on learning how they can make the situation better or prevent anything in the future. So it really does depend on major. We do have a hybrid model for most of our programs, but some programs are focused more on the face-to-face just because of the importance they have to the current situation. It's very important that I think we continue to focus on maintaining some kind of status quo. I think everybody is getting a little bit burnt out right now. So some type of face-to-face interaction is, huge. It's being able to communicate and share ideas, which is really what education is all about.
True. That's absolutely true. And I totally agree with you that in this dull situation whereby you are already kind of under depression, or maybe feeling too much of social distancing, is also a very negative aspect for the personality point of view. So some time of interaction makes sense for the humans. Okay, anyone, before I conclude the session, anyone who would like to take this case, like if COVID happens, then how does the university deal with the case?
I can jump in there real quick.
Okay, please. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Alvin. I'm not very formal. I don't let the tie and jacket fool you. I have a very close relationship with my students. If we communicate and we've been in touch, we've been on WhatsApp, we've talked. I like to tell the students, think of me like a friend, older brother, mentor on campus. We have an international center that is entirely dedicated, a full-time staff of many people that are dedicated to support our international students. And I know all of my international students by name, by face, they stop in all the time. We have a hospital very, very close by. If you were to get COVID, you would go to our health center, who is engaging in all of these preventative measures, and they would take you. If you needed to go to the hospital, you go to the hospital. You're mandated to have insurance as part of your tuition when you travel. So all of your medical expenses would be totally covered. It would be okay. You would have, if not immediate family, you would certainly have some friends that would be there to help you.
I think that summarized very well. Thank you very much, Nicholas. And that should give more confidence to Alvin. Alvin, thank you very much for asking this bold question. And I'm sure that because of your question, other people must have benefited with the answer. So good. So we had a quick session. Thank you very much, all our listeners, for listening this, and those listeners who are going to listen to it after the recording session is available within a few hours of time. And thank you very much for all our speakers for today's evening for joining us on time and giving your valuable time and sharing some very important insights from the university and from the country point of view. So, friends, we had a wonderful session on how UK, US, and Hungary are welcoming students in 2021. If any of our listeners seek any further information, please feel free to contact us on our helpline number, which is there in front of you, 99870 and visit our website, alif.in. Our experienced counselor will be able to assist you instantly. My name is Aslam Sheikh, founder and CEO of Alif, signing off with a promise to come back again with on next Friday at 5 p.m. with another interesting topic and some amazingly talented speakers enlightening you on a subject that matters to you the most. Until then, thank you very much. Take care of yourself and stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you, all the speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.